What's up, guys? Hope all is well with everybody this morning and whenever you're watching this. But got a got a big video for me today. It's going to be a fairly quick one. Um, I'm not normally going to be doing a video that's only about one card, but this one is a really big one for me. So it's not going to share the stage with anything else. So as you can see from the thumbnail and these photos here, who it's going to be about. But these photos were taken in 1994 spring training. This was the Hohokam Park facility, the batting cages, and I got fairly close to Sandberg and got some really nice shots. He didn't stop and sign for anybody, as I recall, but I remember he walked over and just got in a Range Rover and drove away and waved and that kind of thing. He wasn't mean or anything, but he didn't sign. But I was just super happy to get these photos, and I'll probably do some photo slabs of that center one and maybe the left one at some point. But wanted to have some kind of a backdrop here about Rhino without having to put other cards. I could put other cards up today, but I want this one to just kind of stand on its own. But I've been waiting 33 plus years for this card, and for various reasons never had it. It was completely unattainable as a kid, fairly unaffordable as an adult, and I never could seem to find a copy that was clean enough and a signature that was clean enough and not faded and not streaked out for me to buy when I did have the money, and I always get something else. But in this case, I sold some stuff to get this. Didn't get me all the way there, but it got me close enough where I knew this was the time to pull the trigger. This guy had this copy up for sale for a little bit, and it's the cleanest copy I've ever seen in my life. These particular cards are super sensitive. The foil around the edges is always jacked up, and I don't know if people left these in the light or if it's just the ink or whatever, but the signatures are always terribly faded. They just don't look good. But to me, this is one of the most beautiful cards ever made in the history of baseball cards. So I've wanted this thing since 1991. You probably can guess by this point what card it is, but it's a Grail card for me, or a dream card, whatever terminology we want to use. It's definitely a dream card, something I've wanted forever. This is kind of unique in that it's a dream card that I never had. So a lot of my dream cards and even Grail cards I had back in the day, and I've wanted to reacquire them, or they're just unattainable now, whatever. This is one of the ones that was always a dream card, but I never had it. For whatever reason, couldn't afford it, couldn't find a good copy that I really wanted. And so this is the first time I've ever had this card, which is very unusual for something that I love this much. It's probably on the top of my list, possibly, of cards that are in the dream card category that I never owned previously when I had my bigger collections. But this thing is amazing, and I'm so glad to have it. Went through authentication, all that kind of stuff, finally got here a little bit ago, and I wanted to get through the contest and all that kind of stuff before getting to this video. But I've been excited about doing this one. It is just such a beauty. So without any further ado, let's check this thing out. So here is the back, and most of you will know what this is. So 1991 Donruss Elite Signature Series, Ryne Sandberg. I think this is in my top handful of most beautiful cards ever made. And here it is. Check that beauty. check that beauty out. Really nice, clean gold border. The best signature I've ever seen on one of these cards. The guy was about to send it off to get it graded, but I'm like, dude, just let's make a deal. Let me have it. I sold some stuff and I got it. But I could not be happier to finally have this card after 33 years. Just the photo, the smile, the signature, color match, the borders, the specialness of this card. And for those of you that were around in these days, 5,000, with as many as they made of those packs, you'd have never pulled it. 5,000 might as well be zero. Nobody pulled these things. But the specialness and the lore around these and the significance of this being the first auto, the next year they had the shiny silver ones with my boy Ripken, but this was the first. You had the Legend series with Ryan. And you had all the regular elites. But 91, when this came out, this was a mind blower. To me, it still is. But at the time, there was nothing like this going on. You had the Reggie Jackson Impact Upper Deck auto the year prior. But these elites were next level. And this, to me, is by far the best one. I love the Ryan, but it's not a signature card. So those would definitely be my two favorites. But 1991, Donruss Elite, Ryan Sandberg, Signature Series. One of the most gorgeous cards ever designed and made. And they are impossible to find like this. 33 years, this is the best copy I've ever seen. And over time, as the signatures on all the other ones have gotten terrible, someone kept this one in the dark and kept it correct. And the autograph is absolutely perfect. Just a 10 auto. This card is amazing. And I'm just super, super thankful to have it. Just makes me remember those days of seeing him and watching him play and just the amazing times we had back then. And just the time in the hobby. I've said it before and I'll say it a million times. 90 to 93 were the best years in the hobby ever. Best years of my life ever. And everything that happened during those years was just magic. And the Donruss Elite was part of that. Just remember going to shows, dreaming of seeing something like this, thinking it was just completely unattainable. People talk about, Mantle rookies and stuff like that being unattainable. Yeah. But for me, something like this was just the unattainable. Just an amazing card that I never would have pulled back in the day. And somehow through all my heavy collecting and having some money years, I never had this card. And to have my dream copy of it right now is just the best. Absolutely love this card. When I was thinking about selling that other stuff and what I would get, this just jumped to the top. And he's one of my PC guys. He's not one of my top PC guys like Ryan and Ripken and some of the local guys, but he's in that very next tier. There are several cards of him I love a lot. But this one is right up at the top. And I really, really love it. But hopefully you guys can just, enjoy this and sharing my joy a little bit on this one. I know it's just about one card and it's just about a grail of mine or a dream card of mine. Not showing you a bunch of stuff you don't know about or anything like that, but just wanted to share the joy of having something I've dreamt about for 33 years, and this card is beautiful. It lives up to all expectations, and I'm super, super stoked to have it. But that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this trip down memory lane and seeing this card, and really appreciate you guys watching and commenting everything you do. And until next time, Thanks, guys.